Hello, everyone. So today we're doing a discussion piece about what is a dead game. Now, what randomly brought this on is the fact that there's just a random Discord thread that just kind of happened, or Discord, I mean Twitter, about. So you see this, but let's go to the start of it, I guess. This is what he's getting mad about, right? If you have to go to on the Discord just to get games, the game is dead. If the entire player base is the same 20 people, the game is dead. Hop off the copium. Honestly, I agree with this take. I really feel this, you know? And you got someone here saying, oh, this isn't fair that there are thriving communities with very active Discords. Take Multiblood, for example. Hundreds of players are using Discord to make matchmaking. And this is a below average take, but like, and this is where I want to get to the crux of the conversation, really. See, not every game is like Multiblood. You're not going to sit here and tell me Street Fighter 4 and the alphas, yada yada, the same type people, it's ridiculous. You think the game is... And here's the thing. Here's the real thing I want to get to. This is why are so people pressed about others having fun playing a game? It's not even about that. He's not getting pressed, right? So let's go into the original thread that started this. Give me your hardest gaming hot takes. I'm pretty sure you guys have seen this. The concept of a dead game is fucking ridiculous, and I'm mad at how many people it has ruined the discussion of old titles people still play. All right? And we'll get it. Like, there's some pretty base takes. Like, let's go into the base takes. If I can find them. See, there was one that was really, really, really good. Actually, you know what? I have it here in my notifications, I believe. No, I'll go back. Okay. But anyways, someone in here had a really good take. They explained it very thoroughly. And people saying, have fun playing definitely the same 7 dudes, right? Like, I'm pretty sure most of you agree what I think is a dead game. Actually, fun fact, before we go any further, I even have a video that discussed this, my thoughts on going to Discord for matches. As you guys, I've mentioned before, I am not a fan of that. That's why I agree with that take. But here, this is the best take. I just think it's silly how heated people get about a game being dead by the average person's standards. Most of these games I really enjoy and regularly play would be considered dead. We could specify not competitively active, but people would probably get mad about that too. I think it should at least be said that not everyone wants to put considerable amount of effort into finding players for a game they may only moderately be interested in. I do it for games I love, but outside of that, sometimes I just want to hop in a queue and play. And that's literally what this is, right? This man perfectly exemplifies, and I agree with him. These are based as hell. But I want to tackle the original, the concept of a dead. So I get it. I get both sides, right? Like, but my thing is, here's where I'm confused about this one. The concept of dead game, right. And no, the problem is that when people say a dead game, you need to realize the majority of people mean it in his aspect. Like, if I have to hop on and I have to like wait, or I have to keep playing the same, the game's dead. By the average definition and the standard, that's what a dead game means. And I think too many people just actually get booty hurt. Like, they're saying, oh, this guy's getting butt hurt. Like, no, he just hates it when people lie to them. Imagine, okay, here's an example. I tell you, oh, BB tag. Oh, I know, and I mentioned another video. Like, I always mention, oh, BB tag feels very light, even for me. But right now, if I were to say, oh, BB tag's not dead, right? Then you hop on and there's literally nobody. You're gonna call me a fucking liar. Straight up, you're just gonna call me a liar. I don't care who you are. And guess what? The game BB tag currently is dead. Honestly, it held on very good for a couple 2 years. People called it dead then, right? That's when I think that's a fair case. When a game still has people actually still actively playing without the need of a Discord, in my opinion, the game isn't really dead. And that's the thing too that we want to get to. The term dead is subjective as hell. It's super subjective, and people need to realize that. And at the end of the day, dead as a majority, this is what it means. It's what this means. Like, can I get in a game and find people? Boom. If I cannot, the game is dead. That is the most basic, simple term. And some people, I guess what he might be getting at is that people will look at a game that doesn't have over 1,000 players and think it's dead. No, not even, dude. In my opinion, a game doesn't start getting dead until you start having less than 100 players, in my opinion. Then it's like, all right, then that's kind of dead. And it's varying. Again, subjective, completely subjective. I think it depends how dedicated to the game you are. Because to me, I was super dedicated to BB Tag. And I am of the higher level while I like playing with low level people. So to me, the game, all those 100 people, I could fuck with them if I really cared for. But I tend to only go fast because But anyways, you know my honest definition of a dead game? It's a game taken off. See, that's not even. See, like, that's a fair one. Y'all gotta stop calling games with an active fan base dead. And again, this person's coming from a different fucking point of view, right? To them, that's not a dead game. That game just doesn't exist. That's a cut service game. And what's funny is that doesn't even live up to scrutiny, because by his definition, Metal Gear Solid 4 is dead. Online, it's not. It still has a very active... See, this is how you know that, like, I kind of get what they're getting at, but they're still very wrong. They don't understand what the definition of dead is by most people's standards, and they actually kind of fucked themselves, honestly. I mean, I'm not shitting on them or anything. I mean, I kind of get what they're coming from. It can be annoying when people start saying your game like BB Tag is dead when you have 1,000 players. Like, what? Now, sure, yeah, no, it's dead. But like, yeah, even if your definition of a dead game, you fucked yourself. There are games that don't have anything officially up. That would mean emulators don't count, because that's not official either. See, online sure are taken off the stair or gets completely shut down by its devs, i.e. Overwatch. See, oh, you know what? They're an Overwatch player. No wonder, dude. Those people are weird. Nah, I'm not gonna say I disagree with you, but I am gonna say I waited for just a P4 literal player base as a complete newbie. See, look at that. And then why are you changing? Oh, I kind of get the feeling, but if we're talking about the same game, no. Do you hear? P4. Assume it's the most dead one, sir. People, I don't know. Like I said, I'm not gonna give them shit, but the more I read this, the more I think they really have a really bad take. Oh, that's a lot of people playing TF2. Yeah, context, like, and again, too, competitive is a whole nother story. And what's funny is, that definition is weird, too, because Street Fighter 3 is a dead fighting game. There isn't, and that's coming from someone who actively plays Street Fighter 3. But it does have a competitive scene, but it is a very small competitive scene. It's strong, but it's small. Like, literally, and what's funny, here's the crux of this whole dead thing, that it's people who get booty hurt when their game gets called dead. And I don't know why. Like, if your game is dead, it's dead. Deal with it, live with it. Like, dude, like, it's not that hard. I've accepted that one of my favorite fighting games is dead. No, two of my favorite fighting games, BB Tag and Third Strike. Like, bro, I didn't know Street Fighter 3 existed until I played a demo of it, and then I fell in love with it. And you know why? Like, someone said why they're willing to pull it with a dead game. Like, I don't really play online Third Strike that much. I mainly play offline. And I play the PS3 version, and for some reason, a PS3 game seems inaccessible. Most people just, I don't know why. A lot of people get rid of the old systems, so even though Street Fighter 3 is fairly available, don't play the... No, you can't even count... Oh, it's available on the PS4, Switch, and PC, but it has terrible netcode, but that doesn't matter, people. So, but that's the reality. Trying to get an honest match of Third Strike is a bitch. You know, I don't advise people, and when I tell people to get into Third Strike, I don't tell them to get on Third Strike for the online to play with people. I tell them to get in it because it's Star Strike, right? Like, I just have a genuine passion for the game. And I'll sit here, dude, I literally boast about how dead the game is. No. Here's another great example, right? Fucking goddamn Dr. Steelhammer makes fun of it all the time. He says, for the thousands in attendance and the 112 people that still play this game, it's very clearly a jab at the game he fucking loves, because he knows the game is dead. You know what I'm saying? A game is never true. And here, that's a fair, yeah, no. And again, it's why do people get this whole thing skewed? Like, don't get me wrong, there are some assholes that just call games dead. Like, you know what I'm saying? If this is all whole conversation against them, fair enough, right? There's the three sides. There's people who just like, oh, because it's not Call of Duty, you know, and people play, oh, it's a dead game, why would you play? Oh, who matters? Those people are annoying as hell, right? That's what we need to get, is that this kind of conversation is aimed towards those people. This kind of conversation is aimed towards people that try to convince us that, you know, a game that is very reliant on playing online, or you play online, is not active. They're not the same discussion. That's the reality of this is not the same discussion, you know. And this person is taking, you know, this statement that those annoying people and then applying it to their game, but they're also not being honest about the fact that your game, by what most people, again, there's two different ways to look at this, right? Dead game, as in how I've been defining it the majority of this video, right? That a game is just not very active. That's it. Boom. That's all it is. Not a very active game. You have to put in some effort just to get some shit. And then there's just people say, oh, game's like, no game is truly dead. Like, you know, offline games, doesn't matter. You know, no game is truly dead. As long, heck, even a game right now that no one is playing, all it would take for me right now is to put it in my PS3, and then boom, it's not dead. Done, right? So that's a different discussion. They're completely different discussions. And that's the thing. You saying, you know, getting booty hurt because someone says your game is dead and it's from an asshole who only plays popular games, no, fuck that guy. But if you're getting booty hurt of your game being dead, and it's like, oh, people still play, that's not the same conversation, brother. It is not the same conversation. See, like I said, that's why my man with the most base take here. There was another really good take around here. See if I can find it. But I don't know. I think this person maybe got too attacked by mainstream people, because that's really what it is. There's casuals, you know, and there's two types of casuals. Asshole casuals, you know, the people who say N-words on COD, and then just regular people who just play COD and they're cool, you know? And that's all it is, man. You gotta differentiate. And even then, games never truly die until they become unplayable. But at that point, that's something else. That's just completely different. And even then, it still doesn't die. You get what I'm saying? That's why games never truly die. Nope, even if they become no, they still don't die, because there's people like us that are hardcore. Why? Don't talk about plus R people, old game, dead game. Just play. See that's a fair point, right? Like, that's fair. Like, I still put, see this one. Here we go. Honestly, if a game isn't popular enough to find players online with just a few minutes, it's dead. 100%. He's right. Facts, bro. Even I don't know who Leffen is. Discord communities don't really count, because let's be real, it takes work at times to check if people are playing or not. Exactly. Discord communities do not keep games alive. Discord communities are often created specifically because the game is dead. Like, I'm glad someone gets it. People and that's the thing, bro. It's just I don't know how long this video is gonna be, but I don't want to make it too long. And that's all it is, right? Is that the reality is that it's not what you're thinking of dead game. People, no one seems to have the same conversation. At the end of the day, how I see it and how most people see it, when someone says a dead game, we mean a game that's not very populated. It's hard to find plenty of diverse matches of people of our skill level at any time of day, every day of the week. That's all it is, bro. And like I said, outside of, like, again, even if for Third Strike, I'll play online for PS3 and I don't care, you know. But guess what? I'm not gonna wait around for 30 minutes just to find a match at Third Strike. Hell no. I have things to do. I mean, I'm working on this YouTube channel right here. I gotta practice for Street Fighter 6, my main game, right? I don't have the time or luxury to play a dead game. That's really what it is. If that offends you, you're just fucking weird, dude. Like, and that's what that term is used. The reason it's used is to tell people, like, okay, cool, this is not a waste of my time. And don't get offended by that either. It doesn't mean the game's bad or it's not worth it, but just to the average person who wants to just hop on, find a match, play a game, and be able to do that anytime. Like I said, the way I had before, the game's just dead, you know? Fuck it. You know, why do you think I still kind of play COD from time to time? The game, COD just straight up refuses to die. See, that shit's not dead. You know, it's because of how popular it is. Like, dude, you can still play Black Ops 2 to this day, and Battlefield 3. Those bitches are not dead. Those are, anyone says that shit's dead, now you're buck wild, bro. You're camping, like, literally. Like, I play on PS3, bro. There's still fucking servers. Like, someone said it best, bro. I get a better definition. Like, dude, if I hop on into a servers and there's not a single one, that shit's dead. I'm like, that seems omega fair, right? And that's what it is. If your game just feels like no one's actually playing, the game's dead. I think that's the real feeling here. Because some people have different tolerances. Some people need a hell of people. I'm that person. Some people are okay with 1,000. Some people are happy with 500. Some people, at least it's 100. And then some people, if there's not at least 100, they're like, all right, I'm gonna head out, right? You know, and that's what it is. That's what I meant by it's subjective. At the end of the day, there's a definitive definition what most people think of dead game is, and what most people tolerance for a dead game is completely subjective. And that would be the end of this video, you guys. You know, don't get offended if someone calls a dead game, and don't be too hasty either to call something just dead. If you yourself is not, but if you are entitled to feel that way, right? Just be iffy about calling some people's, you know, game dead, because they get really booty hurt about it, right? You know, be respectful, but if someone gets actual mad and just saying like, oh, the game's kind of, you can say kind of dead, right? And that's it, and you're like, okay, cool, whatever. Because I'm gonna just keep it real with y'all. I agree. I don't want to go to a Discord. Look, I already have OCD from this shit. Do I really look like I want to add any more? I'm sorry, just no thank you. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.